I see him nodding in the periphery of my eye. There's Sandy Villery. He's co-portfolio manager of the Villery Balance Fund, and he has a reopening pick that's nearly doubled over the past year. Sandy, make your case.
Yeah, so clearly the last data we got on the consumer in July was worse than expected, and my point though is that you've got consumers that still have over 2 trillion in excess savings, from the 3 rounds of stimulus. Household just household net worth is still near highs. You got 401k balances near highs, and I think when the employment situation gets a little bit better, right? So we got 9.5 million unemployed, but you got 9.2 million job openings. So I think as kids are going back to school, parents can go back to work, and you've also got the unemployment benefits. They're going to run out in September. So I think all this equals, a pretty solid situation for the consumer, despite the fact that we're seeing, a recent slowdown on certainly the furniture and the goods side of the equation as opposed to the services side. So we want to buy these dips in here, and if you get some news around tapering and certainly going into September, which is the worst month for the market of the year, we want to use that as an opportunity to buy reopening plays and look forward for the next 12 months.
Sure. So, and your plays will be interesting to people because they are a little more under the radar. First Hawaiian, Caesars, and Palomar Technology. Which of these is up 88%? I mean, I can imagine First Hawaiian and Caesars should be up nicely off the bottom last year.
Yeah, Caesars has been just fantastic. And, a lot of times you can bet on the horse, you can bet on the jockey. And this is one where Tom Reeg has done such a phenomenal job that we're certainly betting on the jockey. They just made a $4 billion acquisition of William Hill. They're going to be getting into iGaming, and they're going to spend another, $1 billion on online gaming and iGaming. And so I think this is going to be continue to work out pretty well. I mean, their peers tend to trade, 11 to 13 times cash flow. They're going to make $10 a share in cash flow eventually. And so we think it's a $125 stock and has a lot more upside, and the perfect type of stock we want to buy on dips.
Yeah.
And we still do like First Hawaiian a lot as well as a reopening play.
One quick point on First Hawaiian. I mean, how nervous do you get when you hear people go, well, spending slowing down, maybe they're not going to taper in September? And listen, even if they do, you've seen bond yields drop 0.5 point all summer long with that idea baked in. That must make somebody nervous about the financials.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you see yields going down, right, that's going to be a tailwind for technology. And I'm actually going to take profits in technology as it has that tailwind. And when yields go down, you see the 10-year where it is, that's going to be a tougher spot for financials. I want to buy it and go against the crowds. And I think yields are going to go up later, probably in the year, if not next year. And I think that's when financials are going to start to get a little bit of net interest margin and make some money. And so I want to buy things when they're contrarian and undervalued.
Right. Again, though, if rates don't go up, then, maybe a little bit different story. But let me ask you about Palomar Technology, because despite its name, it's actually a PNC insurer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a very interesting story. I mean, just focused on places that people don't want to go. Earthquakes, actually back to Hawaii. They do, all sorts of, earthquakes and things along that line. So we're pretty excited about this one. And their technology just gets so granular that their underwriting is just much better than any of their peers. And they just continue to take share. The total addressable market is enormous. They just scratch the surface. And as they offer more and more products, the TAM even gets larger over time. So we think this is going to be a good one. It's been beaten up, and just a great one to put away in sort of small cap land right here.